Hey guys, so today we're going to be changing the oil in the truck I use to help me maintain my rental properties. I own a few rental properties, so I use this one to get back and forth to those. Has about 240,000 miles on it. It runs awesome. Don't have any issues with it. So it's time to do a little oil change on it. Nothing special. I don't go high end on it. It's old. It runs good. So we got our 5W30. It takes about 6 quarts. We've got our socket down here, 15 millimeter, in order to get the bolt out to drain the oil. And we also have a 76 millimeter to be able to get the oil filter off and on. So it's a 76, fits perfectly. And of course we have a funnel too. You will see over there we have our oil pan to be able to drain pan to be able to drain the oil out. Already got it jacked up with a stand underneath for safety. So let's get to this, all right? So to start off, we want to drain the oil. I'm standing in front of my Yukon. This is the Yukon Denali XL, and this is what we want to take off right here, so that we can, so that the oil will drain out a bit quicker. All right, and of course when it's time to fill it back up, you can well see some oil up underneath that. That's actually from my power steering. The line that runs into here into the brake booster. There's a weep hole underneath there, and it leaks out. So I have to put probably about I don't know, couple ounces in every once in a while. Not bad, but I'll change that out in the summertime. Right now we're gonna stick with the oil change. All right guys, so I'm underneath now, laying on my back, cold ground. There's the back of the Yukon, and here is where I'm at. That wheel over there is the passenger side wheel, and so right here is the drain plug right there. That's what we're going to be removing, to drain the oil. And here's the filter right there next to it. So it's pretty straightforward. So let's go ahead and drain some of that oil out first. We'll get that on there. I'm doing this one-handed. And I think I may have to put there we go. Get my oil pan in a good spot. Figure it's not too cold of a day, so I figure I might as well use this as an opportunity to go ahead and drain the oil, put some new oil in before it gets cold out again. All right, I'm about to start it out, and it's probably going to get a little messy. I don't think I've ever did it without getting a little bit of oil on my hand. All right, there we go, not bad. And I want to lift my pan up because it's kind of on the jack, on an angle. So there we go. All right, so we'll let that drain out, and then we'll remove the filter. All right, so the oil is about drained out. So I'm gonna clean the plug off. So I'm gonna put the plug back in and hand tighten it on up in there, and then I'll get my socket and torque it down a bit. Let's see here. Don't over tighten it. That's what people do wrong. And now we'll attack this oil filter over here. Hey, so earlier I said use the 76 millimeter for this. Actually my 74 fits better, much better. So I'm using my 74 on here to get this off. So disregard what I said earlier, use the 74, all right? And then as you can see, it turns pretty, gets that puppy on out of there, all right? So that's the one we want to do. I'm going to get my my pan underneath here and get this off, and we'll put on a new one. All right, let's pre-fill the oil filter before we put it on. Wait a little bit as that drops down, and while it drops down, we'll put a little oil around the rubber ring up there, and I will get a little bit more up in there. Oops, went a little bit overboard there. Capture that, and it's dropping down up in there. And so I'll meet you guys over by the Yukon, and we'll put this puppy on. Damn you. Alright, so now it's time to put our filter on. So I'll first go in at it by hand. A little more difficult to do when you're holding a camera in the other hand. But it's doable. It's easy. This is a really simple oil change here. Get that out of there. Can't do it now. Likes to go in the other direction apparently, huh? There we go. Alright, and now I'll use this to tighten it down, okay? And then we'll put some oil in. Alright, so now we want to pour about 6 quarts of oil up in here. Of nice, clean, fresh oil. Like I said, I have about 240,000 miles on here. I just run regular dyno on here. I don't do synthetic. This is 5W30, and it's been running pretty good just like that. So after we get these 6 quarts in, we will check the dipstick, make sure we're nice and solid down there, and then we can wrap this up. Alright, over here we have our 2 dipsticks. The red one is for the transmission, checking your transmission fluid, and the yellow one is for your oil. So go ahead and pull that out and check that oil. Clean it off first so you know exactly where you are. Just look on there on your dipstick. I don't know if I'm too close there. You see the dots? So you want to get that oil all the way up to that last dot right there. That's when you know you're full. And the distance between each dot represents a quart. So if you're ever checking your oil and you've got about a dot's worth of distance, that means you're about a quart low. And I don't know if you can tell, but I look like I'm just about spot on there. Alright, so I think that's a pretty good wrap here. Again, this is a 2005 Yukon Denali. This is the big dog with the 6.0 Vortex up in there. 240,000 miles, running beautiful. That's the oil change. Guys, remember, take your oil to the recycling, your used oil to the recycling center. Don't just dump that stuff anywhere. And I do a lot of work on my own cars. So please hit the subscribe button down there and keep an eye on what I'm doing, all right?